Just to expand a little bit more on Reish Pei Bet, just a little to understand what it is exactly. Rav Nachman further on in the Torah says that it's a real foundation for understanding. The entire Torah, for getting close to Hashem. Like, so you saw these. He said he warned us really strong. He's Hil Me'od, right? He warned us very carefully to walk with this Torah because he said it's a huge foundation. It's a foundation for getting close to Hashem. And we need to understand, like, if Rav Nachman said it's a foundation getting close to Hashem, it means that, like, mamish, the whole, getting close to Hashem, the whole Torah, right? That the whole story, we go from Bereshit all the way through, is all basically a Torah that was given to me to be able to reconnect, to tie and reconnect that relationship between, my heart and my mind, between the godliness from within the world and the godliness, the shefa that's coming from above, which is everything. It's actually one, right? It's all oneness. When Mashiach comes and it says, "Vayashem lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu Hashem echad u'shmo echad," that Hashem will be king again. He'll be one in the whole land. It'll be one. The names will come together, which means my kingdom. I'll become the son of the king again, and not be the son of the servant maid anymore. I won't go after Esau. I'll be the son of the king. Because I'll reunite with my mind again. My heart and my mind will become one. My Yetzer Hara he'll still be there, right? But he'll just be a chariot in order to connect and get close to Hashem. So the Torah, right? Obviously Adam HaRishon was created on the sixth day, right? But the Torah starts with the letter Bereshit. And Bereshit, the Zohar says that the bet of Bereshit, Bereshit's the letters Bet Reshit, which means Bet Reshit means the two heads, the two beginnings. We didn't have one beginning, halavai. The one beginning would have if we just got the first tablets at Mount Sinai, it would have been, Aleph Reshit, right? But we got Bet Reshit, two beginnings, right? Those two beginnings correspond to our two eyes, those two types of godliness that there are from within me, from within the entire creation, right? Which is the Yud-Kei Vav-Kei and Elokim, which is his, Hashem hiding, the hidden face that we're always asking Hashem, Pnei Elai v'choneni. Rabbeinu in Torah Aleph says that choneni comes, right? It's chen. Chen is the reuniting the relationship between Kudsha B'richu and Shchinte, reuniting God's name and his the Shem Kodesh and the Shem Elokim, which is his dwelling down here, reuniting, bringing back that connection between my heart, my Yud-Kei Vav-Kei on a personal level, and my Yud-Kei Vav-Kei in my mind, the little neshama I have from within me, and my heart, right? So we're always asking Hashem to turn your face back to us. That's the whole idea. And the Kruvim, right? They were, when they were looking at each other, when the two Kruvim that were in the ark, the Holy of Holies, those two little birds, with the wings, those angels that had their face to face. So when it was face to face, was when Hashem was happy with us. Meaning when Am Yisrael were doing good and their heart and mind were connected. But if God forbid, through exile or whatever, as soon as there was some sort of exile and separation between Hashem's children and Him, between their heart and their mind, there became those clouds that just separated and created a distance. Then those two Kruvim would turn faces. They would turn away. So we know the 6 days, right? So that's Bet Reshit. Rav Nachman in Torah Aleph says he starts his Torah off, but you don't. It's a very It's a deep, very deep Torah, right? And it's basically teaching this whole idea. And hopefully, once we finish the introduction of Reish Pei Bet, I have a feeling it's going to take quite a while, just because we need to really understand this foundation, this whole idea, in order to be able to get different eyes in the Torah, and not have those two eyes, not have the looking out with those two eyes and seeing, because there's two ways, like the Chazal say, "Samtem et dvarei ela al levavchem." Put these things that I'm giving you, the Torah I gave you, put it on your heart. So Chazal say, what's with Samtem? Are the letters Sam and Tem, which is a drug, right? It's a medicine, it's a drug, and it's also death. So those are the two eyes, the right eye and the left eye, meaning there's two ways to go through the Torah and see the Torah. You could go and you could just see the Torah, right? And you can see it out of the left eye, which means You can go through the whole Torah and it's amazing, and you put all this Torah wisdom and you start keeping laws and mitzvahs and you do things, and it's awesome, and you give beautiful Torahs and everything, but it's still all up in the head, right? It didn't reunite with the heart. It didn't become one. You don't see the godliness from within the Elokim, from within the creation. But there's another Torah, right, that's called Ashrei Tmimei Darech. Ashrei Tmimei Darech Ha'olchim B'Torat Hashem. It's the first Torah in likutey moharan, where Rabbeinu over there says that the word Ashrei, and he brings different psukim from Yosef HaTzadik in different places to show that the word Ashrei comes from the word, Lashur. Lashur means to see. So Ashrei is actually seeing. So Ashrei Tmimei Darech. Those people who are looking at this deep, deep sechel that there is from within the world, which means it's the word Ashrei Tmimei. So the Ashrei and the Taf, it's the letters Aleph and then Bereshit, right? Because it starts with a tiny little Aleph and then it says Ashrei Tmimei. So it's the letters Aleph, Reshit. So what it means the looking out with that one eye, that ability to be able to look out with that one eye. So going into just first the foundation, right, of the foundation of Reish Pei Bet, to always remember, it's very important that inyan of looking at the Nekuda Toiva, judging myself favorably, and remembering that Hashem knows what I'm going through, and Hashem is not expecting from me, what I think He's expecting from me. Hashem wants me to just do that little bit, that tiny little bit, that little kometz, the little bit that I can grab, whatever it is that I can hold on to hold on to that, and to remember that I'm holding on to that. That is me. That's not the other side. All the bad things that I do, that's not me. That's the son of the servant maid. That's the Yetzer Hara that overcame me. And I have from within me tons of these little beautiful candles that are little lights of Hashem, these little swords and weapons that I can use to subdue the Yetzer Hara and turn him into a part of the Kedusha. Make him become a chariot, make him to become my slave. Take him, take myself out of that slavery where I think I'm slave to him because I see how I'm acting and how I'm going after all of my, my desires of my heart, so I feel like that's who I am. I'm him, right? No. I'm not him, I'm the son of the king, and he's the son of the servant maid, and that's it, and he's going to always be a slave. He's a slave, and I'm in freedom, right? God, how many times is Hashem warning us? Remember, I took you out of Egypt, right? Mi beit avadim, I took you out of that place of slavery, of this narrowness from within your life. Who took you out? Yud Kei Vav Kei, right? Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu before he goes in, he says, when Moshe Rabbeinu comes and says, well, Paro's making it so difficult after I came in, he's made the work even harder, right? And Hashem tells him, my name, I revealed myself to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, but I never revealed to them that deep name, Yud Kei Vav Kei. That oneness, Yud Kei Vav Kei, I didn't reveal to them. That name that is just chesed and goodness and comes from the highest place. That name I didn't reveal to them. Ushmi Adonai lo nodati lahem. I never revealed into their da'at that level of Yud Kei Vav Kei. But I'm revealing it to you, and with that name I'm going to take you guys out of Egypt, and you're going to see what miracles there are going to be, and it's going to be amazing, amazing. And they come out, and then throughout the whole Torah, and throughout the davening, and when you do vidui, and if a person just pays attention, he'll see that these two names keep coming up, and the whole idea around the prayer that we're doing throughout the whole davening is all basically telling us, showing us this idea that Yud Kei Vav Kei, if a person just is samech on that and remembers to lean onto Hashem, Hashem is always there, just to lean onto Him. Meaning before you go out in the morning, you just throw it all onto Hashem. Say, Hashem, whatever it is you want. I want my day today to go the way you want. I'm putting my thoughts on you, my actions on you, everything onto you. I know I have a Yetzer Hara and I'm going out to a world full of tests. Tests that, like Reb Shlomo said, the Baal Shem Tov didn't have. Huge tzaddikim didn't have. They'd go out, they lived in a village, shtetl, whatever. They didn't have what's going on today. So I know I'm going to go out to that crazy world and things are going to happen and I'm going to fall and I'm going to do all kinds of stuff I shouldn't do. But throughout the day I'm going to grab tons of nikudot. I'm going to hold on to this and hold on to that and hold on to that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to lean onto your mercy, and I'm going to do vidui before I go to sleep and say, Hashem, I'm sorry. I know I went out, I messed up, I didn't do right, but I still want to be close to you. I still, I want to connect to you. And that's basically what it all is. if you look at the tefillah, if you just pay attention to the words, you see that that's all we're asking for. Is we're always asking Hashem, like, please, Hashem, have mercy on us, forgive us, because you know our Yetzer Hara, right? We tell Hashem at the end of davening, right? That my words that came out should be Yule Ratzon. They should go to the place of Ratzon. We know Ratzon is like Rava de Ravin. It comes in the highest place, highest place, the place where there's no bad. It's all that oneness, just the Yud Ke Vav Ke. Elokim is when it comes further down. The Ratzon is the Amish, the highest. Shara Nun, the Bina. Zohar Kadosh also says that we know the Torah. Our Torah comes out of the sphere of Tiferet, which is like the chest area. It's like Chesed Gvur and then Tiferet. It's connected to Yaakov Avinu. But Tshuva, Chazal say Tshuva came around before the world. Tshuva Kadma La'olam. So the Zohar says, I think it's Zohar Nasa, I saw it yesterday. He says that Tshuva comes from the 50th level, from the Bina. Tshuva is from the sphere and the mind of Bina, which means the light of the sphere of Bina is way higher. The light that's beaming down from the Bina, right, is giving the source of life to all the Sphirot below. Chesed, Gvur, Tiferet, they're all getting it from above, from the head, from the Moichin. So the light that comes down, right, in order to do Tshuva, to fix something that in a lower sphere, something that I did, I need to get a light from above, and that's why Hashem gave us Tshuva. When He gave us the Torah, He gave us a thing called Tshuva, which is this awesome, amazing light of Rachamim and Hashem's mercy, that no matter where you fell, no matter what you did, there's Tshuva. It was around before the world, before I even started, before I created anything. There was Tshuva. So a person remembers that at the end of the day, he goes, he does Tshuva, he asks forgiveness, and everything gets wiped out. That's it. Everything's wiped out, which means Hashem, I'm today at the end of the day, I'm looking at everything I did. I know, okay, let's say even 98% of what I did, 99% is bad. But there is that little candle. There's that little bit of good. And I know that is the only thing that's important. That is the Elokut. That's the Yud Ke Vav Ke. I know there's Elokut and godliness from within the rest of it also. I know. But I fell. So he says, when a person does this, what happens is he starts looking at that little percentage, that whatever it is, that little bit of Elokut, of godliness that he grabbed, and he says, that's me, that's my essence, that's who I want to be, that's the son of the king. The other one is just the slave. Okay, he made me fall, I did tshuva at the end of the day. So when we go into the Torah, we're starting off with these two eyes. That's like the first warning, Bet Reshit. So that's the istaklut of the two. So Rabbeinu in the Torah Aleph gives over the secret, and that's why he says Reish Pebet is a foundation for getting close to Hashem. It's a real foundation. That's how a person needs to look at it. A person needs to look at it as I am the son of the king, and everything good that I do, that's who I am. That's my essence. And everything bad, that's the slave. The slave, the Yetzer Hara, he made me slave. He made it difficult for me, so I fall and I can't overcome him. But then my essence, that's not who I am. I have to make that separation. And once I make that separation, I can start rebuilding and reconnecting the relationship with Hashem. And my heart, I start feeling a love towards Hashem and a closeness towards Hashem, because I believe that everything I did bad is nothing. It doesn't exist. I did tshuva on it, and tomorrow morning I'm starting a brand new page. And that's really what it is. And that's why in the morning we wake up, what do? We say all the brachas we said yesterday. Right? Say one time, thank you Hashem for waking me up, or thank you Hashem for not making me someone who doesn't have that connection. And then that's it. Like one time in your life, or once a year, I don't know what, you say the bracha. I don't know why, every single day, because today's really a brand new day. Today is a brand new day. I got a brand new soul. I'm clean. I'm starting a brand new page, right? That's what does Avraham Avinu says after the whole test with Yitzchak and that what does Avraham Avinu say? He says, Vayikra Avraham Shem HaMakom Hahu Adonai Yir'eh Asher Ya'amer Hayom Be'ar Adonai Yir'eh. Avraham Avinu calls that place, he says, Asher Ya'amer Hayom, he who says, Be'ar Hashem Yir'eh. He calls it basically the eyes, right? Yir'eh. Let me just read it so I see exactly what it says. Vayikra Avraham Shem HaMakom Hahu. Avraham Avinu called that place Yir'eh Asher Ya'amer Hayom Be'ar Adonai Yir'eh. One who sees, who's the one who sees? He who says today, he who says today, Behara Hashem yira'eh. He will be seen in the mountain of Hashem, which means you want to be seen by the eyes of Hashem. You want to get that light from the Yud Kei Vav Kei. All you have to do is say today. Today is a brand new day. I'm starting a brand new day, and that my relationship with Hashem is going to be whatever I can grab. That's my relationship with Hashem. Whatever good that I do, that's who I am. That's my essence. So Hashem, right? We start off the Torah with Bereshit, and then it goes through, the creation, right? The 6 days of creation. Then Adam Harishon gets created. So this whole 6 days of creation, before the creation, the concept of tshuva is talking about, right? Obviously, higher sphirot, which go up into the father's mind before he's when the child is still up in the father's mind, before he even comes down into the into the womb, like into the woman, and then starts the creation of the child. So the building of the child, the umbilical cord, and the creating of the child basically starts right at the beginning of the 6th day. Heaven's earth, it's the water, and it goes in, right? All the 6 days, all the animals, trees, all the things that were created, sun, moon, all these things. The sun and moon correspond to, and the stars, the development of the mind of the baby, and then there's the trees and that. It's the whole baby and all of his inner organs and everything being developed. And then on the 6th day, the development is done. Adam Rishon is born. He comes into the world. And then he eats from the tree, and he gets kicked out of Gan Eden, right? He gets kicked out because he ate from the tree. So when he gets kicked out, Hashem puts the La'at HaChelev, he puts that sword to make a separation, a separation between the heart and the mind. That's what it is. He gets kicked out of Gan Eden. That's a baby coming out into the world, and that's what Chazal say, that the angel comes and touches him on his lip, and he gets a little mark over there, and he forgets the entire Torah. That's the getting kicked out of Gan Eden, right? We get kicked out. Adam got kicked out, and Hashem puts this sword to protect the entrance. That sword that's protecting the entrance, that's this separation between Yud Kei Vav Kei, between the oneness of Hashem and Elokim, which is Hashem's revelation in the world, but in a hidden way, inside all these garments of physicality. Right? So that's the separation. And now you have to go out, Adam, and go work the fields, and it's going to be difficult for you, and you're going to go through ups and downs, and all your tests, all the stickers that are going to grow, and all the difficulty you're going to have to bring out the produce and get all the substance you need in order to keep yourself alive and keep yourself connected, and everything you eat is going to be mixed with good and with bad, and your body's going to go through a process of doing this birur, of getting rid of the bad and the good, in order to bring the good up to your mind and take the minerals and sparks of holiness out of all the things, and so on, right? This is the story, right? And then we go through the 10 generations, and we get to the Mabul. The Mabul, again, is 10 generations, like climbing up from when you're a baby, you're heading up towards your bar mitzvah, right? And then person gets to the teenage years, and it's a little bit difficult, right? Like there was no Mabul, there was no flood up until then. Why? Because a person's not chayav in Torah mitzvahs, which means anything that he does, right, it doesn't really have an effect because he doesn't have a Yetzer Tov yet. There's no freedom of choice until he has the Yetzer Tov, the good angel, right? The strength to be able to overcome the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is with him from the beginning. But even though it's just the Yetzer Hara, and those generations weren't very good generations till Noach, Hashem doesn't bring a flood, right? But once you get to Noach, right? Noach matzachen ben Hashem. Suddenly there was Rabbeinu says in Torah Aleph that chen, right? This chen is the connection, the relationship between the heart and the mind. Taking the Torah that Hashem gave me and mamish tying it and drawing it down into my heart. And living the Torah and realizing that the Torah is a part of me. That relationship between me and Hashem depends on my relationship of my heart and my mind. The Torah in my mind and my heart, right? So this is Noach. So Noach, Hashem likes Noach. Noach matzachen ben Hashem. Because Noach, this is the bar mitzvah, right? Where a person finally has the Torah and mitzvah. So now you could start taking all that Torah and drawing it down into the heart and start subduing that Yetzer Hara that's been, king on you for all these years from when you were born. And because of him, you forget the Torah and you don't, you have those clouds that are covering your eyes. But now you have the ability to reconnect. You started your bar bat mitzvah. You have the ability to reconnect and start connecting again, that Yud Kei Vav Kei, that godliness from within your mind that is in the Torah, and bring it into your mind and let it come down and draw it down into your heart to start bringing blessing and goodness and kindness and the feel of Hashem, the oneness of Hashem into your whole being, spiritually and physically, right? And through that to bring the spiritual and physical goodness and kindness that's coming from Yud Kei Vav Kei, from above, into the physical world down here, into the Elokim, to the hiddenness of Hashem. to reunite those two names. And then what happens? A person goes through difficulties in life, right? We go through the teenage years. Everybody knows, right? You go through teenage years. Ki yishchit kol basar darko. The Torah tells us about, the adultery that there was, and like big sins that they did, especially the big one. And Hashem brings the mabul, right? Brings the mabul. So there's the mabul, and the whole world gets destroyed, right? And Hashem saves, just Noach gets saved. So Noach is that little nakuda, right? That little nakuda toiva. When a person's going through that mabul, what happens? Mabul is like bilbul. He's going through crazy bilbulim. He's going through like a mabul. He feels like that's it. The world is destroyed. I'm finished. Hashem's upset with me. He takes off from his house. He had enough. He doesn't want to be close to his parents. He thinks they're upset because if Hashem's upset with me, the other way, if they're upset with me, then obviously Hashem is. That's how a little kid thinks of it, a 15, 16-year-old teenager. If he sees his parents are kicking him out of the house and they're upset with him, so he's like, if they're upset, Hashem is for sure upset. Because who's my Abba? Hashem. My whole life they're telling me he's my Abba. Where's my Abba? Here's my Abba, right? And my Ima. They're upset with me. They kicked me out or whatever. So obviously Hashem's kicking me out. And that's the mabul, right? Mabul. Everything's covered with water, but it's water's the Torah, right? But it's water with no vessels whatsoever. Which means there's no kalim to get that light. There's no kalim. So all of it's going to the other side. Because that person, that teenager, is still doing mitzvahs. He doesn't become nothing. He's still doing mitzvahs all right and left all the time. Little things, good deeds, whatever. He's doing mitzvahs all the time. Where's it all going? To the other side. It's all giving koyach to the other side because he feels like Hashem is upset with him, and then that's it. So he completely separates that relationship between his heart and his mind, himself and the Torah, and that's the mabul. That's the mabul, and that's where a person goes off and off and off. Right? And then we go on, and he gets older, right? You keep going in life, you get through the teenage years, you come out the other side. Slowly, as you grow up, you start becoming a man. You start getting a little bit of chokhmah, da'at. Hopefully, you get married. And whoever's not married should get married fast. But getting the right, you grow older, right, and you start getting your wisdom starts coming in a little bit. Your chokhmah, bina, chesed, gvur, tiferet. So these are the different sefirot, and that's why the Torah says, okay, another 10 generations after the mabul's done. There's no more, no wiping out, no crazy stuff. Just like 10 generations, then Avram Avinu comes. Right? Avram Avinu is that stage where a person, after going through all those teenage years, right, where he's judging himself. Hashem's not judging him. He's only judging himself. Right? He goes through those years, and then he suddenly starts getting those Yiroi Tshuva and starts thinking, where did I go? What did I do? The reason why he had such a hard time, the reason why he suffered in all those years and was so far from Hashem, was because he, in his mind, thought to himself, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve getting kicked out. I don't deserve, having this separation. Because if what they've been telling me since I'm a baby, since I'm born all these years at home, that that I am a son of a king, right, and that's who I really am, then I for sure don't deserve it. Because why does a son of a king deserve this? And if it's not true, if really the Yetzer Hara is the king, right, and it's not true, and he's still king now, because I see he is, I'm after my bar mitzvah, right, and he's still in complete control of me. It's not like I got, okay, now you're chayav mitzvahs, go out. Yetzer Hara is gone, now the Yetzer Hara's turn. You had 13 years, now it's my turn. No, the other way around. So I see he's still king, he's still on me, he's still making me fall all the time, even after my bar and bat mitzvah, even after I got the Torah. So what's going on here? So maybe I'm not the son of the king, right? Maybe I'm the son of the servant. Maybe I'm the slave. And if I'm the slave, then I for sure don't deserve it. Why do I deserve to get kicked out? What did I do wrong? Why should I get kicked out of my kingdom, right? Why should I not have that connection to Hashem and to the Torah? If I am, if I'm the son of the king, then I don't deserve to be kicked out into exile. And if not, I'm not the son of the king, then I for sure don't deserve it. Because what did I do wrong? Right? If I'm the slave, if I'm the Yetzer Hara. So he's suffering. This is all the suffering teenagers go through, right? And then at a certain point you hit that da'at, right? So again, just to give a little foundation of the sefirot, like I don't know nothing about Kabbalah, but I just the three kavim there are. We know there's kav yamin, the right line of sefirot, the center line of sefirot, and the left side, right? So the right one is the chokhmah and the chesed and the netzach and the foot. and then the left one is the Bina, and the left hand is Gvura and the Hod, and then the center Sphirot, you have the Keter above, and then you have the Da'at. Da'at is a combination, it's the center line, it's the combination of the Chochmah and Bina, and then you have the Tiferet, this is the body between the two hands, it's Keneged the Torah, Keneged Yaakov Avinu, and then you have the Yesod and the Malchut, foundation, and is the Brit Kodesh and the Malchut. So, the story, when the Torah starts the story, after the whole thing with Noach, the Torah starts the story with Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu is basically, the Chesed, the right arm is the Chesed one. We know it's a branch, like we said, the one right above it, in the higher level is the Chochmah, meaning, and the Chochmah is the eyes, right? When I'm looking out of my eyes, so I'm actually like the understanding of my mind, right? I'm looking with my mind out into the world. So it's different kinds of understanding. The Torah is teaching us. This Avram Avinu is one type of understanding of the Torah, of this whole life that you went through. From when you were born, you forgot the Torah, the whole stage, right? You went through your teenage years, you fell into so many things, right? So there's one way to understand the Torah. There's Avram, right? There's the Avram Avinu way, and then there's the Yitzchak way. Two ways to understand the Bet of Bereshit, right? There's two eyes. You can understand it with Chesed, or you can understand it, with the Gevurah. But in the Zohar Kadosh, it says that when Mashiach comes, there's going to be revealed this very, very big light, the light of oneness. It's called Ein Achad Derachame, that one light of mercy, that one light. Let's call it like the Keter, which the third eye, is the Keter, where a person realizes that it's all Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei and Elokim is all one. There's no separation, right? So the Avram Avinu type of way of looking out of the Torah, the right eye is where a person, it's just Chesed. Right, the Chesed, Avram Avinu is right. The Torah tells us a story where he goes and he takes up Yitzchak to sacrifice him, right? And he goes through this test and he's like about to sacrifice. So he's basically sacrificing his entire Torah. He's giving up on his son, because he corresponds to the Torah, right? Yitzchak is out of him is going to come Yaakov and the 12 tribes and Am Yisrael, which is the Torah. We're going to receive the Torah. So Avram Avinu is sacrificing the Torah, right? He's giving up on everything. Why? He's giving up on it because of his midah of Chesed. Because of the Chesed. He so much wants to do good. He so much wants to be close to Hashem. He believes so much that you have to do good, right? So he goes into such a dark and down space when he falls so many times, and he fell 100,000 times, and he keeps falling, and he doesn't know what to do with himself because he's so much inside. He wants to get close to Hashem, right? But he's lacking. He's lacking. It's not the chesed that he has is lacking, and that's why out of him comes Ishmael. That's what the Torah is teaching us. That type of looking where you have this chesed, and you want to just do good. You want to do good in the world, and you're going out in the world, and the Yetzer Hara is ripping you into pieces, and all you want is to do good. You want to do chesed and be close and just do good for Hashem, and you really want to, because every Yid wants to, right? So the result of that type of looking at it will bring out Ishmael. It'll bring out that psolet, that little bit of of bad that is from within it, which will keep you in that exile, keep you in that way of looking at the Torah, which is not, will not bring you to that Ein Achad Derachame. The Yitzchak Avinu derech, which is the Gevurot, right? The Gevurot is, so just one more thing about Avram Avinu, about the Chesed, where what it's lacking, the looking, that type of looking at the Torah, right? That you want to do it so badly, and because of that, you're far from Hashem, and you're not getting close because you so badly want to be close. So because of that, and you're so far because you did so much bad, so you're not getting close because you really inside want to. That the result of that is Ishmael, which means the blemish, the pagam of looking at the Torah in that kind of way, is that you're there's a pagam in the Chesed. There's a pagam. You have to remember that Hashem's mercy is ad ein sof ve'ein tachlit, and no matter where a person fell, Hashem still loves him, wants him to be close, and right. So that's what he's lacking. The Chesed, the mercy of Hashem. Remember, that's why the Zohar says that the 13 midot of Rachamim weren't revealed to Avram Avinu. If they were, then Avram Avinu would realize there's no giving up, no matter what. Even if I fell thousands of times, I don't care. I'm continuing, right? So if Avraham Avinu understood that depth, if I understood, it's Avraham Avinu, it's just telling me a story about me. If I understood that depth, the Zohar says that Sodom wouldn't get destroyed because Avraham Avinu would realize, yeah, you're right, Sodom did awful sins and, there aren't even 10 tzaddikim there. But what, there's a limit to Hashem's chesed? There's no limit, so I'll keep davening and keep davening and keep davening, and for sure Hashem will forgive. But he didn't know that because he had a pgam, there was a little pgam, very dak min adak, because Avraham Avinu obviously was Kodesh Kodashim, right? Very, very holy person. But the Torah is teaching me about me. So that's the blemish that comes out when I don't realize these 13 midot of rachamim that later on Moshe Rabbeinu, when we got the Torah, were revealed, right? These 13 midot of rachamim that Hashem has, that Hashem will forgive you even if you fell so many times. And if you love Hashem and you want to get close to Hashem, then you continue grabbing those candles, grabbing those good things that you do, and not looking at all the stuff you fall in. Just do tshuva on them and keep going, right? So that's the little pgam, and that's why the Torah teaches us that type of way of looking at the Torah, out of that comes, the pgam of this Ishmael. And then Yitzchak is the gvurot, so the left arm, right? The left arm which stems out from the bina, which is the left side of the mind, meaning the eyes are the ones that think, right? Which means eyes just correspond to the way you think. So the left arm, which is a branch of the bina, the left side of the mind, is looking out of the left eye. So this is the other part of Bereshit, because the letter bet, right, it's two. So this is the other way of looking at the Torah. The other way of looking at the Torah is just through gevurot, which means I want to get close to Hashem so badly, right? I want to get close to Hashem. And this, you can see these two types of ways of looking into the Torah are given over in the world, in the Olam. Most people are talking about these two different ways, still this separation. Right, so Yitzchak Avinu is this aspect of Gvura where I want to get close to Hashem so badly, and I so much wanted to because I fell so many times, right? There's no hope for me. It's done. I'm finished. It's done. I'm over, right? There's no way that I can get close to Hashem. I'm for sure getting Gehenna, and I'm for sure, based on everything that I learned in the Sfarim, how bad things are. Lashon Hara is like the worst thing in the world, and all these things that they say, based on that, there's no way that I could... There's no way that I can get close to Hashem. I'm done. It's over. And this is why out of that type of service of Hashem, and again with Yitzchak Avinu, it was a very dak min adak. But if I'm looking out of that left eye into the world, this is how I see the Torah, that you have to do everything exactly perfect, mitaktek, with chumras, it has to be exact. And if you do a little bit wrong, you're completely off. This type of looking is going to bring out Esav, right? Which Esav we know. Esav, what's Esav? Esav's that klipa of or you go with it, this is the derech, or you do it, or you believe in this, or that's it, you're Gehenna. No, next world's done. That's the shita, right, of Esav in the Olam, in the world. So that's also the pgam. And that's why, Esav came out of Yitzchak, because there's a pgam, dak min adak there, that the little, in the zivug, when he brought him down, because that was his way of, the Torah. And then out of that came Esav, and Esav came with Yaakov. So Yitzchak was able to bring the beer after beer already. We got Esav and we got Yaakov Avinu. And Yaakov Avinu we know corresponds to the sphere of Tiferet. Right? The Tiferet is the body, it's between the two arms, and it's a branch of the Da'at, which is in the mind, the back of the head, which is a combination of the Chochmah and Bina, the right and left side of the mind, which is Avram and Yitzchak. So the combination of it is the Da'at, and we know Da'at splits and divides into two, which is Chasadim and Gvurot, and that corresponds to Leah and Rachel as two wives. With a man and woman, it's the children. We spoke about this in one of the other talks. So we know that the Torah comes out of Tiferet, the sphere of Tiferet, right? And Moshe Rabbeinu also, Moshe Rabbeinu is the Da'at, in the middle line, which is the Da'at, Tiferet, Yesod, and Malchut, right? So we have Moshe Rabbeinu and the Yaakov Avinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is the Da'at in the back of the head, and Yaakov Avinu is the Tiferet, and then Yosef HaTzadik is the Yesod. So obviously the understanding the Torah, the shlemut of the Torah, which means looking at the Torah not from Bereshit, not with these two separate looks, but the combination of the two. That is the way we need when we go through the whole Torah. That's how we need to see it. We need to see it out of that one eye, which means the shiluv, the combination between the two. It's not looking at the Torah out of the right, and it's not looking at the Torah out of the left like Yitzchak. It's a combination, right? The Torah told us that we got it from out of the sphere of Tiferet, meaning we have to, in everything in the Torah, when we give Torah over, when we teach Torah, it has to have a combination of these two. It can't be one way or the other way, because it's a pagam. There'll be a blemish out of it. If you're giving Torah over in yeshivas or whatever, just with the left side, with gevurot and that, and teaching tons of musar and warning people how serious, olam haba, the punishments, Gehenna and all that, what's going to happen? There'll be a Esav. There'll be those ones that run far. They want to just go as far away from Hashem as they could, because they know I'm done in the next world anyhow, so I might as well enjoy this world, right? And if you teach them only with the side just of chesed, which means they so badly want to get close to Hashem, right? But how could, I did so much bad, right? So there's no way that Hashem could forgive me for everything I did. There's no way that Hashem, chas v'sham, to say that Hashem doesn't have enough mercy to forgive me, So that's teaching the Torah just from the right. So there's going to be those little Ishmaels that are going to go off. They're going to go off. They're going to go to the other side of the world, the east. So we need to give over the Torah with this ein echad derachame, with this just one eye of mercy, and realize that it's just all rachamim and chasadim. And yeah, of course, we have to remember that there's punishment. That's why the Torah teaches us, and we know, like Reb Shlomo says, when your kid's coming home from school, with his report card, he's the whole way home, he's looking at all the things he did wrong. Oh no, I got an F on that. And then you get home, like you think you need to tell him what he got and point out the things he did bad on. He knows himself. He sees it. We see it. Show me a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old that grew up in a religious home that doesn't know about Gehenna, that doesn't know there's punishment. We all know. Everybody knows. We don't need to hear it. We need to hear that Hashem has a very, very, very high level of mercy. A person could give himself musar. That's how Rabbeinu Nachman said, Rabbi Akiva in his generation said, I'm very surprised. I wonder if there's one person in my generation that knows how to give rebuke properly. To give real rebuke. So obviously we're not on the level of rebuke. You have to let the person rebuke himself. Let him see what the right thing is to do. Show him how the right way is to look out of the Torah. Don't give him rebuke. Let him rebuke himself. We're knocking ourselves all the time. We know that things that we do are not right and so on. And we know we have to believe in tshuva. Teach them about tshuva. Teach the kids about tshuva. Teach them about that ein echad derachame, that no matter how much you fell, that's not you. You're still the son of a king. Hashem still loves you. You're all those little good things that you do and you grab. That's you. That's your essence. That's the son of the king. Make a big deal out of that. Develop that. Talk how great the mitzvahs are and how amazing all that is. Then you'll see lots of people. Kids will stay at home, and then kids will stay in yeshivas. They won't go running around everywhere and running away from Hashem. They should be running to Hashem. The Torah was given for what? Torah Chaim. I'm giving it to you so a pathway of life to get close to me, not to run away. The only reason people are running away is because, unfortunately, there's a lot of Torahs being given over in the wrong way, and it's making all these people, these kids, poor kids, they came into the world. They want to be close to Hashem, and they're like getting kicked out. So the Torah then gives us the foundation of Reish Pei Bet that we're talking about, right? This Torah Reish Pei Bet, which is looking at all your good and judging yourself favorably and judging everybody else favorably. To see the good in another person is so important, especially in yourself. Torah Natan starts it off. That Torah, he switches it around. He starts talking first about looking at yourself good and judging yourself favorably, and realizing that you're the son of the king. You're not that Esav. You are the son of the king. You have the throne here, not him. He's the slave. He's the slave, and he's gonna, he'll get his when the time comes. But for now, I'm gonna be in charge over here, and you're gonna be working for me. So like I said yesterday, I just wanted to explain it better because I felt like it wasn't really explained so good. So the Torah teaches us that. So Yaakov corresponds to this dot, right? In the mind, the dot is that combination. So the way of looking out of the Torah, the eyes of the Torah through the eyes of Yaakov, right? What's the right way to give it over? Is that Yaakov now is born. They come together. So this is already getting to closer birur. Before that, Yishmael and that was separate, right? They were in separate wombs. Now they're both coming. It's getting closer to the tikkun, the shlemut of Yaakov Avinu, of how I'm supposed to really bring the Torah and bring out those 12 tribes. Mamish, have no people leave the Torah and mitzvahs. by giving over in mitash lema, that when I go out to the desert net, I have the entire tribes with me. We don't have people running away all over the world because the Torah is given over the wrong way. How do I get to that mitash lema? How do I get to that level of seeing the Torah with a combination of the gevura and the chesed, and realizing, the rachamim and the mercy of Hashem? So this is the whole war, that Yaakov Avinu is basically, right, they're coming out. Esav's ish sadeh, right, he's a man of the field. Ish tzayid, he's a hunter, man of the field. Meaning he's the body, he's the gashmius, the physicality that a person has. And Yaakov Avinu corresponds to ish tam yoshev alim. Right, he's Yaakov ish tam yoshev alim. So he's also ish, but he's tam, he has this simplicity, he has this tmimut, like Rashi says, a type of a simplicity, a type of a tmimut that Yaakov had, which is actually what the main, Rabbi Nachman says in Torah Aleph, this was the main tool that he used in order to subdue the Yetzer Hara and make Esav actually become the slave. Take the kingdom back. Yeah, I was born, and from when I was born, you were the ruler here, but now it's my bar mitzvah, and now I'm gonna be king again. I'm gonna be the son of the king, and you're gonna be the slave. So what do I have to do? In order to do that, I have to take back my Bechorah. I have to become the son of the king. I'm the Bechorah, I'm the head, and take the blessings out of you. Right? So Yitzchak is about to give Esav, Yitzchak's about to give Esav the blessings. Right? So why is Yitzchak giving Esav the blessings? Reb Natan brings in different reasons. One of the things that Reb Natan says is that Esav's tafkid, his job was to be the one that supports Yaakov Avinu. He's supposed to support, like it says, that when the Mashiach comes, the days to come, Esav's going to be the one supporting Yaakov Avinu. Physically he's going to support him so that Yaakov Avinu could mamish devote his life to this relationship. Meaning the Yetzer Hara, the body, is supposed to just be a chariot. It's supposed to be just a merkava. It's supposed to help you get close to Hashem. That's why Hashem gave us this body, in order so that we can keep all the Torah and mitzvahs in this physical world down here. Because if it was just the neshama, just Yaakov Avinu, there'd be no way to do it. So we had to come with this. So Yitzchak is like the one that he's the Abba, right? He's all the Shefa is coming to his children. He's supporting them and raising these two people. So Esav was supposed to be the one from when they were born. The reason why Esav, right, was Esav's in your life from when you're born until you're bar bat mitzvah, is because Esav's supposed to become a chariot. So once you become bar mitzvah and you start on the derech, if it's given over to you the right way, then Esav really becomes a chariot, and all the taivas that a person has and the difficulties that he has, right, and everything he goes through, he subdues it by looking at it the right way, and it becomes, all the avodah becomes holy. Because if I could stay connected to Hashem, even though I'm going through all of my Elokim and my judgment, right, all these difficulties and going over things and stuff, I could still stay connected to Hashem with my heart and mind and never disconnected. That means that my body is a complete chariot. And through that, my relationship gets stronger and stronger and stronger until I end up keeping the whole Torah and mitzvahs. Like Chazal say that the forefathers kept the entire Torah and mitzvahs. Because you can keep everything as long as you have the right histaklut. So Yitzchak wants to give Esav the blessings, and Rivka realizes that Esav really, his inner intention is that he's gonna take you off. He's not planning to. Esav's gonna, that little Yetzer Hara inside of Yaakov, he's gonna make him when he's 13 to go off the derech and fall into this down by looking at it the wrong way. So she says, I gotta give you advice. I heard that Yitzchak wants to give Esav the brachas. He wants to give him all the shefa of gashmius, the physical blessings. But I realize Esav's just going to use that physical blessings, and he's going to flip it all and just make your lusts and taivas and bad midot stronger and stronger, and you're going to go into your teenage years and you're going to fall off completely, and all the strength, all the blessings are going to go to him. He's not going to give you anything. He's not going to give it to you. He's not going to be a chariot, because he just wants this world completely. He doesn't want to be a chariot for the Kedusha. Yitzchak thought that he did, but that Rivka saw it in a deeper level, that he didn't want to. So she says, we need to now do an eitzah. We need to do something in order to take out all of the shefa, all these blessings, physical, spiritual blessings that Yitzchak's about to give Esav. We need to get them out of him, out of your Abba, in order so that you get them. in order so that the strength doesn't go to Esav. It goes to you. And you stay the son of the king, and you don't become the son of the servant maid, the slave. So she says, go and take, and she says, listen to what I am commanding you. Listen to what I'm, that's how she says. It's a very interesting lashon. She says, I'm giving you a mitzvah. Right? Mitzvah is mishon mitzvah, which means to tie in, to connect. So she's telling Yaakov Avinu now, I'm going to give you now the secret of how to stay connected to Hashem, even though you have that Esav in your life. How do you now subdue Esav and make sure that all the kedusha and mitzvahs and things you do stay in your hands, keep you the son of the king, strengthen your connection between your heart and mind, and don't, God forbid, create that separation between, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei and Elokim, which is godliness from within the world. How are you gonna stay connected? She says, go get his garments and put them on, and she puts on his garments, and so meaning the garments on the outside, he's Esav. This is Esav on the outside. Completely, you feel him, right? His father says, come, let me feel you. He feels him. He's very surprised, the Kol Kol Yaakov, this very soft, gentle voice. There's this sweetness, beautiful neshama from within you. I could hear it. I could hear it singing, but on the outside, it seems like there's this Esav. There's this physicality. I look on the outside, I see the person looks like he's very into this world, very physical, very loud, very arrogant, right? But on the inside, there's that sweet, beautiful neshama. So he says the voice, Yitzchak tells Yaakov, the voice sounds like Yaakov, right? But it feels, the hands are hairy like Esav. And he says, okay, so he says here, eat from my thing. He gives Yitzchak the food to eat in order to draw down the brachas. In order to draw down the blessings from above, you have to give like a korban, a sacrifice, which means if like a person did a sin, chas v'shalom, he used to bring to the Beis HaMikdash, he would bring a sacrifice. And what the sacrifice did, the reach nichoach, the different, the Kohanim and us and everybody who's eating and taking a part inside this Suda, this feast, this whole Suda, this thing, that it went up, it brought up this reach nichoach that went up to Hashem, where a person is mamish sacrificing his money and his hard work, and he takes the animal, and he has to now slaughter it, and he takes the best parts, the chelev, the best, most expensive and good, yummiest parts, puts them on the altar and burns them and gives them tzedakah. Right, he's giving tzedakah to the Kohen. He also gives tzedakah, right, because through tzedakah a person could, his sins get forgiven. And he gives it all. So this reach nichoach of this sacrifice that goes up to Hashem, it makes Hashem send down this amazing, awesome light, this light of tshuva, of chesed, the rachamim, that makes Hashem just forgive. And he forgives his sin by bringing this sacrifice. So Yaakov Avinu has to get these matamim. He gets these, and this is why Yitzchak asked Esav to go get the matamim. But Yaakov quickly gets the matamim and he brings them to him to eat them in order to draw down this higher level of rachamim, of mercy, of these blessings that Yitzchak's about to bless Yaakov, to draw down these blessings. And he says, Re'reach b'ni kireach sadeh. Right, he comes and he, Asher belcho Hashem, he smells, and he says, wow, it smells like the field, right? I can smell like the field, because we said Esav was a man of the field, ish tzayid, ish sadeh. So he says, Re'reach b'ni kireach sadeh, Asher belcho Hashem. So it smells like the field, right? It smells like Esav, right? Asher belcho Hashem, but it smells like Esav that was blessed by Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, which means it smells now like the Esav that is already a chariot, is subdued, is now just a chariot for the holiness. Because Yaakov is now, he's in these two roles, which means he's Yaakov, he's that neshama, and he has and the outside, the garments of Esav, right? But he's not Esav, right? He's not Esav. Who ends up, he took the Bechorah, he's the king, right? He's the son of the king, so he's not Esav, he just looks like Esav on the outside. So Yitzchak comes and says, wow, it smells like Esav, but it smells like the field, right? It smells like the field, like Esav, but it smells like the Esav that God blessed. Asher bercho, like is lavrich, to draw down the blessing of what? Of Hashem, which is Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, right? Or it's Asher bercho Elokim, right? Asher bercho Elokim. So Elokim, we'll see that Reb Nachman brings that Elokim is that a person attains this level of chen, of oneness between his heart and his mind, by learning Torah b'koyach, by Koyach means taking the Torah that you learn and drawing it from your dots, from your mind, all the way down through the Tiferet, to the heart. Because that's the Shleimut, to bring down the Torah from your mind, but don't bring it from the right and left. Bring it down through the heart, through the center kav, which is the Tiferet, those eyes. That Ein Echad Derachame, that eye that's going to be revealed when Mashiach comes. So, Asher B'chol Elokim, so learning Torah, Rabbeinu says there in the first lesson that you do this connection, this drawing down from the mind to the heart of the Torah, through just praying for everything that you learn. You do it through studying Torah b'koach. So koach is 28. It's also the 28 letters that there are in the first pasuk that Rav Nachman brings. Ashrei Tmi Medach Holchim B'Torat Hashem. I think Rav Nachman was mechaven purposely to do those 28 letters because Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim et haaretz, which is also 28. So, and chen is the chet and the nun that he talks about is 58. So 58 and 28 comes out 86, which is Elokim, Gematria Elokim. So Yitzchak says it smells mamish. He tells Yaakov Avinu it smells like Esav, right? But it smells like Esav that was blessed through Elokim, which means that there's that connection. It smells now like the Torah that you're learning. You brought it down into the heart, but you brought it down through the center, with this way of not the left or the right, but just the center way of looking at it. That enachad derachame, which means even though on the outside there's the garments of Esav, you're still connected to Hashem. You're still grabbing those little Torah and mitzvahs you could do. You're still connecting and getting the light, the Bercho Elokim, right? You're getting the light from the Torah and mitzvahs that you grab throughout the day, even though on the outside there's a garment of Esav, even though there is a lot of bad characteristics and bad things that I do. I'm still drawing down all of the light of the Torah and mitzvahs and things that I do every single day. And then he gives him the blessings and blesses him with all the spiritual and physical and all the blessings, meaning drawing down now the Shefa. Once he realizes, Yitzchak is the Elokim, right? Once he realizes it's the sphere of Elokim, once he realizes that Yaakov Avinu got to this level where he's at his bar mitzvah and they taught him the right way, they taught him the eyes of the Torah to look at it in a way where, yes, you're bar mitzvah, you're going through what you're going through your teenage years, your difficulties, you're going to suffer, you're going to have a hard time, you're going to fall hundreds and thousands of times. We know you're going to fall. But you got the right eyes how to look at it. You got it from his Ima, right? The Ima is always the one that davens and prays for you in the house, right? So the Ima always the one, when the Abba gets upset, let's kick him out. You know, the Ima's like, no, let's give him another chance. The Ima is always that one that wants to bring down, draw down the mercy, because the Ima has the regesh, the heart. You know, she has the she connects a lot more to the heart, to that middle path, because the Gevura side is, overcoming and trying, right? Yitzchak was the Gevura. It's always trying to overpower and it has to be the right way, otherwise it's over, right? So the Ima is always the one. So that's why the blessings came through his Ima, came through Rivka. And she's the one who drawed it down to the center. And she said, no, let's do a combination between the two. And let's put, it's Yaakov, he fell and he's going to fall, but let's put now, the garments of Esav were on top of him, right? It's a combination. We brought him down to the Tiferet, to the center line, and now he's receiving all the blessings. He gets these amazing blessings, and as soon as he walks out, Esav comes in, and Esav's like, I brought you the food, the korban that I need in order to draw down all these amazing blessings. And Yitzchak's like, what do you mean? Who was in here someone was just in here? I thought that was you. That wasn't you? Like there's some sort of confusion over here now. Because I thought that the blessings were just given to you. So basically, the confusion is up until now, Esav was taking Esav was taking all the shefa, all the Yetzer Hara is with you from when you're born. But once your bar mitzvah starts, if you get the eyes of the Torah in the right way, then what happens is Esav wants his portion, right? He wants you to now do an avera, go over the Torah, not keep certain things, whatever, right? And then through that he gets his strength. He's Esav. He's the one ruling, right? And a kid grows up into his teenage years thinking this is who I am. God forbid, it's not like that. So we teach him the right way. No, you're going to fall for sure, and that's why we have tshuva. But you need to just hold on to the nekuda toivas, all the good things that you grab, the amazing Torah and mitzvahs and whatever it is that you do, the little candles that you grab. That's you. That's your essence, and that's how Esav is not. Esav's the slave. So all the things that Esav, gets his koyach from is just the things that I fall. But that's not who I am. That's not my essence. I do tshuva and then Esav doesn't get nothing. So, we give him a little bit. There's different things in Judaism that you give that are, in order to remember, it's a little zecher for Esav, so he has a little bit, bad has a little koyach. So Esav's coming, he's like, what do you mean? Where are my blessings? I want the blessings. And he says, I can't. Your brother took all the blessings. And then Esav says, is this why he was called Yaakov? Maybe this is why he was called Yaakov, that he was, Vayakveni Pa'amayim, he first took my Bechora, and then he took now all the blessings. So that's why he was called Yaakov, Vayakveni. So he used his chokhmah, his wisdom, in order to draw down the Torah in the center line, right? To bring it down to the heart, to the tefillah. And not to the right and not to the left. Maybe that's why he was called Yaakov, right? Maybe that's why he was grabbing onto my heel when we came out, because the Akev, because he was going to go through that center line, which the center, as we know, is the Malchut, right? The Malchut comes out, it's on the center kav, but it's the lowest sphera, which means that when the Geula, the redemption of the Malchut, of Mashiach, the redemption is going to come through what? When everybody in Am Yisrael starts teaching this Torah in this way, in this connection of this Ein Achad Derachame, from the center line, bring the Torah down from the dot to the Tiferet, down to the Yesod Malchut, and once we bring it to the Malchut, Mashiach's going to come. That's going to be the fixing of all the Olamot, when everybody is taught the Torah in the way of this Rachamim, of how to stay connected to God, even though on the outside I have the garments of Esav. Right? And Esav starts crying and screaming, like, what do you mean? Is there no blessings for me? And then it says over there that Yaakov Avinu, Yitzchak blesses him with a little bit. Itala Shamayim, if you look at Rashi there in the commentaries, it says Italia Shel Yavan. Like he basically got the leftovers, the trash, but that's the Mayim Achronim. The little bit he got just to keep him. And through that Reish Pei Bet, if a person really just has that simple look, and this is why Rabbeinu says that it's, I just want to give that over because I thought it's important. I just understood it this morning, during davening, even last night a little bit. That understanding came, and I thought it would be very, very important to explain why Reb Nachman says that Torah Reish Pei Bet is a real foundation for getting Vizhir Ma'od to stay. Reb Nachman warned everybody that very much that that this Torah, to walk with it and live with it, because it's mamish, a foundation for getting close to Hashem. And if we're lacking the foundation of getting close to Hashem, then what happens? We fall far from Hashem. If the Torah is giving over through the right eye or the left eye, and not with the center where we received it from. We got the Torah from Chesed, right? So when a person starts learning the Torah in that kind of way, we got the Torah, from Tiferet, from Yaakov Avinu, Moshe, Yaakov, Yosef, right? And then the Malchut and Mashiach comes, Bezrat Hashem. So if we could start, right, Bezrat Hashem, us and the whole world should start just giving over the Torah in this way of through the center line, through this way of Rachamim and mercy, leaning onto the mercy, right? Moshe Rabbeinu didn't go up to Mount Sinai and receive the 13 attributes of Rachamim, this unbelievable level of mercy of, after they did the golden calf, right? And Moshe goes up and davens, and then Hashem reveals his 13 minutes of Rachamim to show that, like, the Torah that's going to be drawn down now after the broken Torah, now the new Torah that's going to be drawn down is going to be this Torah that has to be drawn down through this center, through this Tiferet, this center line. And through that, B'ezrat Hashem, it'll go, and we'll go from there down to Mount Sinai, and from Mount Sinai come into the Holy Land, and build the Beis Hamikdash, and basically bring back, reunify the Yud Kei Vav Kei and the Elokim. Not by wiping out Esav and shechting him and that's it. If I'm a tzaddik, I'm righteous, I do everything right, then I beat him, I won the war, I get paradise. No, not by that. By realizing that we have a Yetzer Hara, we have an Esav. Yaakov has the garments of Esav on him all the time. That's how God created me. That's my body that's covering up this soul, right? But my soul, my neshama, wants to get close to Hashem. The only way to do it is if my neshama stays connected to my heart. If the Torah is inside my heart, I draw it down and I realize, yes, I have an Esav, I have Taivas, I have a Yetzer Hara. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay, that's how God created me. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why Hashem gave tshuva. There's a level Hashem knew that it was going to be this way. So He brought the tshuva from the highest sphere, from Bina, right? And the Torah He brought out from the lower one of Tiferet. To remember that in order to stay connected to Hashem always and subdue the Yetzer Hara and weaken him, is continue grabbing all those candles and judging yourself favorably. Because we are the son of the king. And we don't want all those things. And any person who's had a little awakening and went through a period of life where he suddenly felt strong and wanted to get close to God and go to classes, he realizes that suddenly when he has that strength, the Yetzer Hara is subdued. It's so much easier to serve God. So much easier, and he doesn't want to do bad things. He just wants to do good. And then suddenly when that light disappears, the nituk, the separation between the heart and the mind starts again. He doesn't feel any godliness, any sweetness, any light coming down. So then he goes back and falls again, does this avera and that avera, right? But that's not who you are. If that was who you are, then when you were feeling that awesome connection to Hashem, then you would continue doing those things. Because if that was your essence. But it's not. Any person who tastes the sweetness, right, sees that when he's tasting it, he wants to stay close. Because in our shorish, in our essence, we have an neshama. We just want to be connected to Hashem. All the Elokim, the judgment that we go through because of, Hashem's hidden face in everything in the world. And because we don't see Him and He's hiding, so we fall. All that is not who I am. That's not my essence. My essence is that connection, that staying connected. So, B'ezrat Hashem, we could start, living Reish Pei Bet, and just remember to always judge ourselves favorably, that we're not really the son of the servant maid, we're the son of the king. And make a big inyan, make a thing out of all the good things that I do. Make myself happy because of those things I do. Rav Nachman says that further down in Reish Pei Bet, he says that a person mamish could get to tshuva through this. What's tshuva? Reconnecting the heart and the mind, reconnecting that relationship with Him and Hashem. You could mamish get to tshuva. All you need to do, you need to really look at this thing and say, wow, this is unbelievable. This is true. Okay, I'm taking my kingdom back. If this is the way that the Torah is teaching us through this whole story with Yaakov and Esav, then I'm taking my kingdom back. I want to be the son of the king again. And I'm going to fall and everything, but he's not going to be the son of the king just because I fell. It doesn't say that anywhere. It says the exact opposite. Anyhow, B'ezrat Hashem, we should be zoiche. And obviously we could explain the entire Torah, like all the stories, why after that, Yaakov has to run to Lavan, and then he comes back, and then Esav's there again, coming with full force, 400, and then he subdues him with the blessing, the chen. B'ezrat Hashem will be able to tie it all in and see how it's all me. Like I said, the Torah is us. It's not something separate from me. It's just teaching me about my entire life, what I'm going through, and how to go through this world with that one ein achad derachame, to always be able to have that one eye of mercy. Because that's the way Hashem gave us the Torah, and that's how He wanted us to look at it. Not from the right and left, just that ein achad derachame, which is going to B'ezrat Hashem be revealed when Mashiach comes. It should be soon in our days, and we should all be mamish connected to Hashem in the highest, deepest way. Love you all. Take care.